In this week's episode, we are going to help you plan for your best quarter four ever.
Welcome back to JFDI with the two Lauras. This is the weekly show where we make grand promises and deliver on them in every episode. If you are here as a new listener, welcome to the show. This is where we talk about all sorts of things related to working as a freelance social media manager, from pricing tips to finding clients, from diversifying your income to content ideas. We cover it all. And on the show today, as Laura has just said, we're going to be talking about Q4. I know it's only September, but it will be here before you know it. Christmas is upon us. Don't even want to know how many days we've got left for Christmas shopping. I always leave it to the last minute. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about how you can make sure that you nail Q4. We're going to talk about loads of different things that you need to start thinking about now so you can make sure you have the best end of the year yet. And as always, we would love to hear from you. So please come and dive into our DMs on Instagram. We're over there as @the2Lauras. Come and let us know what you're planning for Q4. And if you've got any questions after this episode, then let us know those too. We are always there to chat. Very approachable. Feel free to ask us anything. So let's dive in with how we're going to start getting prepared then for Q4. What's the first thing you think you need to start thinking about?
I think it's always a good time to review where we're at.
Yeah.
Like, what are our current client situations like? Do we, is there opportunity maybe within our clients to add additional services at this time to help them into quarter four? Are there clients that you might want to ditch? As we
Did you whisper that in case they were listening?
Yeah. I don't want to upset anybody. Or are there clients you've got some clients who are manically busy this time of year and you're a bit maybe stressed about that, but you've also got clients who, don't go big at quarter four. Are there ways in which you can tweak things, change things, get that balance right? So basically a bit of an audit of your own client workload would be where I would start.
Yeah, and I think don't wait till quarter four to do that. Like, do this ASAP so you really kind of know where you're at. Like, and if you've got clients, like we've all had these clients, haven't we, that are really like high effort, really time consuming, but pay us pennies.
Low income.
What can we do about those people? Can we upgrade them to a higher package? Can we ditch them? Can we pause them over Q4 because our efforts are better spent on other people? What's the maths and all of that? So have a look at that as well, I think.
Because I think it's worth saying quarter four is a huge opportunity for a lot of social media managers. I was going to say particularly if you work in e-commerce, but actually it's not just e-commerce. But there are so many industries that Christmas, all this New Year, all of this time of year have massively busy times. So there's huge opportunities for freelancers to kind of step on in and help these businesses. If you have got a load of low-paying clients that are a pain in the arse, but means that you're pretty much running at capacity, it means that you are not going to enter quarter four with opportunity or capacity to take on good paying clients. So now I'm not saying ditch clients before you have replaced them, but should you be having a look at your clients and thinking, you know what, the client A, B and C, great. D and E are a pain in the arse. If I can replace them, I will. So you go into quarter four thinking, I am going to grab this by the horns and I'm going to find better clients or better opportunities.
Yeah. And just now you said about, can you add on other services to those existing clients? If you've got good clients who need more in Q4, then like, what are those things when you're reviewing them? What are things that they might need? Might they need, for example, like launch planning? Might they need extra content? Might they need ads adding on? Like, there's loads of different things that maybe you might just want to add on to existing clients, obviously at a fee, rather than going and finding new clients. Like, have a think about those sorts of things as well. And are those things ongoing things, or are they just going to be for this period? Because depending on, which of those it is, some of them, it might be a harder sell than others.
Yeah, and if you've got something that you can package up and sell because it's just something specific to quarter four, then you can go to all your existing clients and new clients to say, look, as well as normal standard management, I also offer this to get us through to Christmas and package it up as like this irresistible offer that people will want to like bite your hand off, because people go all in at Christmas or quarter four, because they know that the opportunities are there for them to have a bumper end to the year, which also means that you can have a bumper end to the year.
Yeah, and I think it's important to say, like you've just said, it's not just Christmas. Q4 has got so many things going on.
Yes.
We've got Black Friday, we've got Cyber Monday, we have got Christmas, we've got New Year, we've got all of the other like religious holidays as well. We've got Halloween. There's so many different things. End of terms, like
bonfire night.
There's lots of different things that will be relevant to different people in different industries, but also different countries have different things going on as well. Different religions have different things going on as well. And just think about, all of those things can impact businesses. It's not just Christmas, because that's what, is in our minds. There's loads of other things going on. And I think moving on, like, and with that in mind, you then need to just start thinking about, like, what are those dates that are important to you, to your audience, to your existing clients, to future clients? Are your audience people who get involved in Black Friday, or are they not? Is that something you're going to do yourself, or is it not? Are they people who maybe it's like restaurants, and so therefore Christmas is like really, really busy and they want to make sure they've got bookings in advance? Like, what are those things that are really important to your audience? And what are the key dates that might be relevant to them? Are they going to be doing offers? What are the dates for those? Are they going to have last postage dates? All of those things you want to think about. All the different, write a list of all the different things you need to try and find out, so that you can then go and like get those dates from your clients. So you've like filled in a list of all client A has given me their last postage dates, but I'm still waiting on it from client B. All of those things, so you know that you're really, really organised with all those key dates for different things.
Yeah, and also for you personally, if you've just got sight of maybe a Christmas list of a child, and you realise that you need to massively increase your income, then you can sit down and think, right, when am I going to offer? Because as you know, lots of what we talk about isn't just about social media managers having management clients. We're all for you diversifying your income, having lots of different income streams that you can kind of lean into at various points in the year to help you make more money and not just rely solely on management clients. So if you're thinking, I need to make a load more money, like, what can you do and plan for now that clients are going to like bite your hand off for?
Yeah, for sure. And then also in terms of what you're going to do for, like, in terms of offers and stuff, what do you need to get organised now to maybe go and do research for those things, to maybe start finding out, like, where are you going to build those things? How are you going to sell those things? What work can you do now so you're not doing it last minute when you're going to sell it in Q4? Maybe it's a sales page you need to write. Maybe you need to get sign off on client copy, those sorts of things. What can you do now that's going to set you up well for those last few months of the year?
Yeah, you need basically a bumper calendar, don't you, at this point? You need to have all those key dates, planning, take account for whenever you need to take time off, all of that kind of stuff, and get all of those deadlines, launch periods, cart opens, everything down clear in a calendar, so you can kind of work backwards then and start creating all your content and strategy.
Yeah, because if you've put in, for example, for your own and for your clients, like when your cart open date is, for example, for an offer, if you can work backwards and you can be thinking, right, well, okay, my cart is opening in November for this offer. It's only September. Most people would be like, oh, carrying on as usual. But if you know that those dates are coming up, you can start with some really great warm-up content now. And the more warm-up you can do before that offer starts, the more likely you are to make big sales on that. So working backwards can be really, really beneficial and being organised, like, well in advance. Laura and I always kick ourselves when we don't do that, when we haven't kind of planned far enough in advance so we can have plenty of warm-up time for content. And for yourself and for your clients, you will benefit massively if you do that.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so another thing we need to do, especially because this is a busy time for everybody, chaotic would be a good word, I think. It's good to be very clear on when you're working, when you're finishing for Christmas, when your clients are finishing for Christmas. Are they taking any other time off in this quarter that you need to plan for? Are you taking any other time off? What are you going to do when they're off? What they're going to do when you're off? Like, plan those times in your diary. This calendar is getting chock-a-blocker. So you can just set your boundaries, particularly over kind of that holiday period. How are you going to work it? What happens when things kick off on a client's account whilst, you're eating your Christmas turkey? Have all those kind of crisis plans updated. Make sure they're still relevant. Remind your clients where all these crisis plans are so they know what to do in those kind of situations when maybe you are taking some time off. But make sure it's a reminder really that everybody knows who's doing what, when, where during that quarter four. So you can kind of set those expectations. So there's no surprises, come Christmas Eve when your out of office goes on and you disappear for a couple of weeks.
Well, I would hope your out of office would come on before Christmas Eve, but yeah. If you are going to take time off though over Christmas, like we say this for summer, for Easter holidays, whatever, whenever you're having a break, if you can get ahead now on your content because I'm going to have 2 weeks off at Christmas, or I'm going to have 2 weeks off in the new year, whatever it is, if you can start putting some content in the scheduler now for that time, then your business will still be being marketed whilst you're off. And then you're not going to come back in January or whenever it is, having to start again. So, the earlier you can do that, the better as well.
And I say this every year. I think that period between Christmas and New Year is a brilliant time to be marketing your business as a freelance social media manager. Because imagine those people who have just been going at 110 miles per hour. They've been juggling a huge amount of balls in their business. And then they get to last delivery day or when they close up their business for Christmas and they say to themselves, I can't keep doing this. I can't do this again. Next year, I need help. Like, you want to, when people are feeling the pain, so to speak, at the peak, that's where you need to be marketing yourself. Now, I'm not saying that you can't take a break, but as Laura said, there could be some good content that you could be putting out over, sprinkling out over that Christmas and New Year. And I don't mean just the Happy Christmas, Happy New Year posts.
Yeah, can we not do those posts?
Yeah, can we just put some content out there that's, addresses the fact, like, if you're feeling frazzled and if you felt like your social media literally fell by the wayside or your ads were like tanking, but you didn't have time to fix them, let me help you and let's start 2026 with that kind of strategy and plan to make sure you don't feel like that again. Like, there's loads of kind of content that you can be putting out, because I think there are a lot of businesses who literally hit the end of the year and they're like, they are done for.
And you might listen to Laura and think, oh crap, I didn't do that in January. Well, now's the perfect time. Remind people how painful that was for them last year, so that they can then start thinking, oh yes, I remember how awful it was. I don't want to do that again. And you can then start helping them. Like, there's loads of different things that you could be offering now. You could be putting out some sort of like lead magnets about seasonal content or seasonal tips for Q4 to bring those people in who Q4 is important for.
Yeah, there's probably some quite good and high engaging kind of humour-based reels and kind of memes you can create about reminding people how they felt at Christmas or the end of the year, that you could probably do if obviously it works with your brand.
Yeah, just remember, whatever it is that you're putting out, whether it's a lead magnet, whether it's reels, content, whatever, don't just give people tips about Q4 and like entertain people and remind people how painful it was. Actually sell to them and tell them how you can help them, because you don't just want to be the person who's relatable or the person who's really helpful with their free content. You want people to actually understand that they can hire you. So make sure this period now where people are starting to think about and ramp up for Q4, when they're thinking about how they're going to get help, you are on their mind. Do some sort of promotion for that now if you can. And start getting visible. Like, if you've just had a quiet summer where you haven't been very visible, start turning the volume up, start posting more, start getting in front of people, start being in Facebook groups, start networking on LinkedIn, all of the different things, no matter who your audience is, making sure that you're in the right places, engaging with those people, talking about Q4, how you can help them, giving them tips and ideas, talking about the mistakes that they need to avoid, showing behind the scenes of what happened in your last Q4, sharing case studies, all of those sorts of things to try and then bring those people into your world ready for this Q4. So you've got clients who you can take on for long-term management if needs be, people you can sell those one-off kind of one-to-one services. If you've got some sort of group offers, you can start to position those so that people who Q4 is important in their business know where they can go. And if it's niche specific, because I know it's on the tips of Laura's tongue, if it's niche specific, even better. Q4 is where people really want to get results, because especially if they had a bad Q4 last year and they want to build on it, or if they had an amazing Q4 and they don't want to kind of go backwards, they want somebody who can help them to achieve the results. And the person they're going to trust is the person who speaks to them in, even if it's in their industry or if it's about the problems they're specifically having. It's that niche messaging. It's very specific messaging that will help people to understand that you're the person to help them.
Yeah. And there will be a huge range of budgets to play with here. There is high ticket services you can be offering to get people in over this quarter. But there's also the low ticket, the smaller businesses who, they still have the same goals. They still have the same hopes and dreams for their business. They just don't have the same budget. So what can you offer them with small budgets? Because there are loads of things that you can offer. And quarter four, I used to do a lot of power hours, probably more than average. I imagine you would have been on power hour.
Oh, yeah. Massive. Loads.
Yeah, like smoke coming out of your ears. But I also used to do a lot of audits as well. Earlier on, I remember doing a lot at the end of the summer, so around now, September time, getting people to review their accounts now, making sure they're ready to go, making sure that their accounts are optimized, and then a bit of a plan to go forward. So there's lots of things. You can give people content plans. You can give people templates. There's so many things.
Where Laura's saying give, she means in exchange for money.
Sorry, yes. Or it's potentially there's lead magnet opportunities, isn't there, here? Yeah. So if you're keen to grow your list, which you should be, what lead magnets can you be putting out now? Again, very specific to your niche that will help them in this quarter. I just think I feel quite manic doing this podcast. I feel like there are so many opportunities in quarter four for people. And it's not just, I'm going to go and find a new client in quarter four, because there's so much more scope out there to support people. So I just think people need to just think, right, what am I going to offer?
Yeah,
and make
definitely.
a plan.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want help with this, by the way, we do lots of kind of planning. And there's loads of different training in the Inner Hub that will help you with all of this stuff. So come and join us in there. The link is the2lauras.com/Inner Hub. We'll make sure that link is in the show notes. But we can obviously help you in our business planning calls, or we can help you to map out the next quarter. We have monthly coaching calls, so we can help you dive into the sort of things that you want to offer. And there's tons of training and things in there as well that will help you to actually deliver on some of these offers if you want to too. So definitely check that out.
Nice. I think it's just worth ending on, don't burn yourself out.
I know
we've just sat there going, you could do this and you could do that and you could do this and you could do that. And you might be listening to this and go, oh my God. It's only because we're excited about the opportunities that are available. We're not suggesting that you do them all. And actually you might have done the first thing that we talked about, which was a bit of an audit of where you're at, and you might be perfectly happy just carrying on as you are, and that is totally fine. But do not burn out this quarter and be like your clients going, oh my God, I'm never going to do that again. Do just make sure that you're keeping it in perspective. You're doing what you want to do, and you're also planning to have some time off and enjoyment in the quarter four as well.
Yeah. I think your quarter four planning is a really good point to look back on that income goal that you set in January and just see how far off are you from that, and what can you do in Q4 that is not going to overwhelm and burn you out to help you to hit that goal. And it could be that you just need one extra client on a long-term basis. It could be that you could set up a group offer that will help you to hit that goal. So if you take it back to what was the goal, then sometimes that can help to reduce the overwhelm, because you can just think, right, okay, well, I could just sell 2 VIP days at this amount, and then that would help me hit it. Or I could do a group program at this lower amount and I'd need 100 people, whatever it is. And you can figure it out that way too.
Yeah. Or you could be going, you know what? I've absolutely smashed my goal for 2025.
I'm going to spend it all on champagne.
And I'm going to take a month off.
Yeah. If you are going to do that, don't tell us because we'll be very jealous.
Yeah. So if that is you, though, well done. And come and tell us all about it. But yeah, so as always, if you've got questions, obviously, if you're in the Inner Hub, come along into any of the calls, come to the business planning calls, ask us questions. But if you're not in the membership, our inbox on Instagram is always open. If you have quick questions, we're always happy to help. So we're at the Two Lauras on all social media, but Instagram is generally where we're hanging out in DMs. So do come chat with us there.
And just before we end, I just want to apologise for mentioning the C word in September. But, it has to be done. And I'm sure, to be honest, you should be talking about it on social anyway. So,
yeah. In fact, I think I've already seen Christmas-related content over the summer. So,
and we're recording this in July. So, yeah. If you haven't posted about Christmas, maybe you're just late.
Yeah. Chop.
Love it. Okay, excellent. Right, we'll be back same time, same place next week. Hopefully we'll see you either in the Inner Hub or in our inbox before then. Have a good week. Au revoir.
Touch you soon. Bye.